Northlands, we have one of the longest runs we ever pulled in wire there. It was 1 kilometer long, just for a light post. So we worked in facilities that were completely dark. You're always working in the dark. There was one client that called us, electricians are cockroaches. Once the light turns on, you guys disappear.
Scare you away.
You scare you away. People are starting to realize that lighting does affect you and your perspective in anything and everything. Lighting creates emotions. Lighting creates memory. Light is vida right there.
I didn't realize how in the dark I was when it came to technology in modern lighting systems. Luckily, we had Daveed Henriquez join us to shed some light on what's out there.
And through a conversation that took us around the world, really, Mexico, Edmonton, parts of Europe, Daveed's career in residential, commercial, public light.
He pretty much showed us that light is life.
Installation, and he's fond of saying that. He says all the time, every chance he can, light is vida.
And there's no better example of the life that light brings to a project than the Velodrome in Coronation Rec Center.
And that's where we start the interview. We hope you enjoy the episode. You worked on the new Velodrome in Edmonton.
Yes, I did.
I was in there the other day. It's spectacular.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. The lights were on. I didn't get to see the lights get turned on.
You missed the effect then. The track itself, that just goes bam. It just turns on beautifully because light levels there are almost 4 times higher than the rest of the facility. Wow. So your eye immediately goes to that track and goes like, wow, I love all that wood. And what do they do here?
Take us through that.
Yeah, so that process was a little bit more difficult than your standard, any rec center. This rec center has been designated for Olympic level training for cyclists on a velodrome or a track like this. So they have a standard. There's also the IES standard for illumination standards here. Overall for lighting designers. So there's that code book as well. And then there's the electrical code book. So first level, that's your standard level. Then we go straight to the Olympic grade level that they require. They needed vertical readings and horizontal readings and also camera location readings. So the reflections of that light coming back into your eye. And on top of that, it had to be safe at 80 kilometers an hour. So for horizontal, it's basically what your eye sees, on a horizontal level and reflected back. Vertical reading is when you're looking straight. Like to say you're cycling and you're looking straight ahead, you still need to see some type of light source so you know where you're going, right? And then if you're looking down, you still need to see the reflectance of that space into your eyes to know that the direction you're going.
Perception while on the track, a lot of this.
Yes, because you're going 80 kilometers an hour with no brakes. It was a very complicated process because first the architect had the facility, had the shape. The Olympic Committee had the shape for the track itself. Then when you walk in there, it's not on the first floor.
Right.
It's on the second floor. So now you have to take that into account. Now you're higher up and closer to the ceiling, which that affects the light levels too, because now the light is closer to that surface, which will create a lot more light, right? So, okay, we got that picture in. So now what we have to do next is we have to plot it in a program. Long ago, they would physically grab a light, put it up there, play with it, and hopefully get the right readings, right? So there's a meter that we take that reflectance or direct light source, reflect light source, readings, and make sure we reach our codes and standards. Yeah. The program itself it's really interesting. There's so many programs out there that you can use, but so I used a program called Dialux, and that program created the rendering so close to the reality that I had to do that. I even put cyclists in there to see the shadow off the cyclist. So if you're watching the show, the competition, you're going to see the cyclist has more than one shadow, right? And we try to minimize that shadow so it doesn't create interference in the person's eye when they're cycling at 80 kilometers an hour. So safety practice, that's pretty hard.
Does it chagrin you to realize that many spectators don't see your work? Does that upset you?
No. You know why? Because the thing about lighting, how do you know you did a good job in lighting?
No one's commenting. Like, oh, the light's in my eyes. Oh, I can't see where I'm on the track.
That's right. I did my job.
I have a place downtown that actually really does warm my heart in speaking of light. I love going to the library, like the Stanley Milner Library.
Yes.
And what I love about it is that when I'm walking through the space, I feel the glow. It's actually like really enjoyable to be there in a cozy kind of way, but I don't see a lot of lights. They're just kind of emitting. And I just would love to know, do you know much about the design of that building or how they chose that?
Yeah, I was lucky enough there to help out on the design
Kudos.
and supply of lights there too. So the lighting design itself was one of the toughest encountered with the engineer at the time. And funny thing enough, I was talking to him this morning before I got here. We still keep connected very well. The space when you enter there at the city library has no ceiling for over 80 feet. How do you light up a space like that?
Well, and that's the thing is like it feels so open and light, like it just feels light, well lit. I don't know how to describe it, but like I feel, I don't know, enlightened.
How do you light it?
We did it. For us at that time, because there was no ceiling, we went right to the top corners and we integrated the natural light into it. So the lights that are up there, there's about 24 way up in the corner that we had to encounter. I think we encountered heat as well as you in a building when it's breathing, heat goes up all the way to the corners and they sometimes stay there. And LED lights can overheat and that could be an issue. And now how do you consider maintenance? How do you bring that light down? How do you fix that light? So those are a lot of crucial factors that we had to take into account. And we had to use that light source to reach all the way down. Was it one more level down in that space? Yeah, those lights were, I would say, about 3 feet by 2 feet. It weighed around 60 pounds. And they're up there, way up there, and nobody's noticed them.
Well, except for that, they're doing their job
They're
really
doing-
well. Like it's such a
Because-
great place to be and spend time.
How about outdoors at the library? There's the Centennial Plaza that features some
Artwork.
some artwork that's lit cleverly as well. I'm guessing you had a hand in that.
That one, yes.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
that one I did it from scratch.
How do you know that it worked? How do you know that you have had an effect on how people encounter and feel in a public space because of the light?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I've seen a lot of posts on Instagram. The city itself had an idea for that space. We wanted to make sure it still tied into the community somehow in an art format. The architect did a very, very good job. They came up with this design that tied in with the library very well. Beautiful. With the LRT stop too. I don't know if you noticed that. It also ties into it. The bench as well. The old underground parking lot that's lit up too. I don't know if you've seen it at night.
I'm going to have to get
You
a
haven't seen it.
Yes, I have seen it, but I haven't really noticed it.
So, the architect came up with the format of this umbrella-looking flower, which was pretty cool. Now, the whole space is open to the environment. We don't want to just put site lighting. That's just really ugly lighting. That doesn't help the environment. That doesn't help the community to be involved with the community. That doesn't create the love of the community itself. You want to attract more tourism here. Yes, I want more tie-in with the city of Edmonton. I want people to remember the city of Edmonton. How do we do this? Well, the architect did such a good job. They added color, which now we can make it more vibrant through lighting. The shape itself was nice and big. That actually attracts for like Instagram, social media stuff. And people now during the day sit there and just enjoy the space itself. I thought was pretty cool. So for our lighting itself, we have the color changing lights on that sculpture. And it goes from red, green, blue, it goes purple, it goes pink.
I think about the Fifth Street Bridge, the Walterdale Bridge. The old one, the green metal was lit in a very probably utilitarian way just to, show that there's a bridge there.
Safety.
That's right. Safety.
Safety.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
And the new Walterdale Bridge is, allows elaborate and emotional lighting schemes along with the high level bridge. What's changed in our society? What's changed about us?
We want to be out more. I think we want to tie ourselves more to the city. We want to build roots here. So one big thing that I've noticed that helps that is lighting. Now I got to ask you again. Have you seen it at night?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Have you walked it at night?
No.
No, you're missing out.
I've taken my bike across the high level bridge
Yeah.
at night, but I've not done the Walterdale. So Daveed's Edmonton by night
Tour.
tour. That's right.
Lighting
It's not
tour.
spooky. It's very well lit.
It's well lit. So yeah, you literally gotta walk it because there's bollards there that light up that pathway and it's beautifully lit along there. Just enough light to enjoy the river, enjoy the bridge, see the arch.
I love these examples where you have a requirement like safety, where like very specific guidelines have to be met. And then you see some of these projects like the Walter Dale Bridge, where you just see how far someone took that to like the brink of creative, output. And they turned something that had to be there into something that's memorable, that aids in your enjoyment of the product.
How many people drive that bridge a day? Right. So it's really good way of saying, hey, this is Edmonton.
Let's say we're walking downtown and it's a rainy day and I just need to cheer myself up and go to a nice space. Is there any place walkable, let's say 20 blocks, that I can go to? Or is there any like architecturally significant lighting places you recommend in Edmonton?
Well, to keep it outside, the funicular bridge.
Okay. Well, if it's raining, where can I go inside?
Oh, you can still walk.
Fair enough. Okay.
But did
Funicular. Okay.
you work on the funicular bridge?
I helped on that one. Yes,
Okay.
I was working for what's it called? A lighting agency, a manufacturer rep, and we helped the engineer come up with the product to use. So we started from the top of the hill down right where the funicular is, straight onto the path. We did all the bench lighting too, and then onto the bridge itself, the overpass, all the way to the hangar that looks like a Star Wars ship. The atmosphere in that space, right? The atmosphere is just, it's amazing. I find it that we don't have another space like that in Edmonton, right? So it's really cool to see it from downtown core, walking down into the river valley, and you have this just moments. You can have a moment there.
Tell us your story. You've followed the light in your career.
Yes, yeah.
How did it start?
I got electrocuted.
Really?
Yeah, I got electrocuted pretty young, very young age actually, down in Mexico City. My father asked me to plug in a TV, and instead of putting the plug in the prongs there, I put my finger in there because I didn't know what it was. A couple of years, I'm an electrician by trade. And yeah, it ended up on installing lights. So we worked in facilities that were completely dark. You're always working in the dark. There was one client that called us, electricians are cockroaches. Once the light turns on, you guys disappear.
Scare you away.
We scare you away. But here in Canada, lighting was just general lighting. Just put it up, light up the space. Like the Home Depots. We did a lot of the Home Depots back then. For me at the time, we was just a electrical company I was working with, Territorial Electric here in Edmonton. It's been around for years. We had a small little team. We were really dedicated to wiring up the nervous system of buildings and lighting them up.
Good phrase.
Yeah, we were a really good pair, and we did such a good job. Like, it was wonderful. I had a great time there. Oh, we worked in Cineplex. We worked at Sobeys. We worked at Safeways. We did all the Home Depots, the hospital as well, the Rexall Arena, the old one, Northlands. Northlands, we have one of the longest runs we ever pulled in wire there. It was 1 kilometer long, just for a light post. Yeah, so there's a lot of infrastructure that goes into a site like that to get just wires to one location.
So you say all of these places, and these are just, in your day-to-day, you can go to the hospital or the grocery store, but I bet they all have very different lighting needs.
Every single one.
Do you want to talk about kind of the nuance, maybe what we don't realize when we walk into a setting that is like a mini warehouse and we just don't think about it?
Sobeys warehouse way in the West End. It's 1 million square feet. And we decided to really take energy into the conversation, into the design, into the practice. Every aisle, the lighting there dims by 50% said and done when there's nobody in there. So when you're walking right by that aisle, it turns up, goes full blast, so you can see what you're trying to get. That's something people don't notice. Cineplex, the lights are a lot dimmer. You're trying to create that atmosphere. You're going to watch a movie. Where's your emergency lighting? Like, that's the other one. Niche lights, and they're lighting up the little steps. They're there to see the steps for safety, lighting and safety, and then also to see the number on the seats, right? So you sit in the right place. That lighting has changed now to bluish light, ambrish light. It's softer on your eyes. It's easy to see. You now recognize it as a safety light. Now we're identifying lighting like that throughout. Same with grocery stores. The color rendering of a light, and that's the UV light that's coming out of the source, is very specific to parts of the grocery store. So in the aisles of, say, the cereal itself, you just have general light, just flooding the space. But for the vegetables, the value is a little bit higher, so the color temperature is higher white, so the vegetables look more
They get Instagram lighting. I love it.
The meat also is the other version. It gets more of red source. So you can see the meat in a different light. People are starting to realize that lighting does affect you and your perspective in anything and everything. Well, just walking into your building here, the entrance is kind of gloomy. But the second floor landing over there that has a natural light, I stopped, I felt it, I looked at it, I'm like, wow, this is actually a nice way of getting natural light in here, general lighting in here, and yes, I want to be here. So I'm not going to forget this moment. Lighting creates emotions. Lighting creates memory.
So it makes sense that as a lighting expert, you're taking that kind of philosophy and applying it to very specific needs with your clients.
Correct. There's some other ones that actually are saving lives.
Let's talk about that.
In the hospital itself, the surgical light is very different than your general light. They need to see every artery, every vein, every tissue color. It's very specific, so it brings out those colors out, so the doctor can really see. So
I was in a surgical suite recently, a couple of times. I've never seen light like that. I don't even know how to describe how pure it was.
same light, same LED chip in there.
Okay.
Higher values in the LED chip, higher voltage, no voltage. The transformer itself has to sit in a separate area, mostly for the MRI. The fixtures themselves are closed for cleanliness. That's a big one. And also to be able to be cleaned down.
I've experienced lighting, is what you're saying.
You experience life.
Yeah.
See, light is vida right there.
Daveed, when you approach lighting for a large building or a public project, where does the design process begin?
On a napkin.
How do architects and engineers and lighting specialists collaborate on major projects?
Oh, it's a process. It is a very long process, but it does start on a napkin. The design starts, the shape of the building starts, the shape of the inside starts, on and on the list goes. But that's more of the ownership group and the architectural group. Once the architect has a shape, let's call it a shape, the interior designers are introduced into the project, and the interior designers start to not add color, just add objects. Objects here, there, desks, shelves, anything else like that. And what they're really good at is making sure that all of it makes sense together. The right shapes for the lights. Once all of that's in place, then they pass it on to an engineering firm, consulting firm that will integrate the mechanical, which is all the plumbing needs, breathing, letting go, and the electrical needs, which is the nervous system of a building. Once they go through it, the process there now gets to add all the codes and standards to make the space safe and livable for any human being. That's the easiest way to put it. And once we have that, then we hand it back over to the architect. Now the architect can reevaluate, make sure it meets all the standards that are required for this facility. Then they start going through all the quality. Quality itself would be the lighting, air quality, air pressures in the building. My role would be to make sure the lighting levels in the facility are correct based on the operation of that building.
Do you think that, because it sounds like there's quite a bit of process before it gets handed over to you.
Yep.
Is it difficult bringing, let's say, an architect's vision to life in terms of the lighting expectations? Do you find that there's enough options at the entry point for you to fully deliver the full concept of what was intended?
Yes, it is a very big challenge. There's so much beautiful things out there in this world. And to light it up, we have so many options now, mostly with the new technology out there. So to incorporate those ideas, the fun, there's not enough funds for it.
Is there a priority for lighting?
No.
No, okay.
No, there's no priority. Actually, windows and lighting are the low-hanging fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, those are both cut, reduced, or value engineered very quick.
How's residential lighting design different from commercial lighting design? Why do homeowners sometimes struggle to choose the right lighting?
Homeowners or the builder?
Well,
Homeowners, because I go shopping for dining room lights and I look at them and I understand like the warm versus cool lights, but I always choose the wrong light bulb. It's kind of like when I buy that sweater at the clothing store and then I go home and I try it on. It's different. It's really hard to get that light level right. Why is that?
The home is really interesting. There's a lot of color, right? Some people have white walls, red furniture, or just plain bland colors, green colors. Like, so colors also affect lighting. Let's say if it's black, light disappears in black. It gets drained very quickly. So it depends on your space. So if you got white cabinets, white granite top, do you want to do 6,000 Kelvin, like really midday lighting out there in there? Not really. In your dining room area, are you a person that likes hosting? Nice fancy dinners, have the family over, or just your family in general? Do you want warmer light, but your furniture is too dark? So yeah, there's a little range that knowledge-wise that you need to put in there. But the best format that I've seen so far and that I've been put into practice is by a dimmable light. Dimmable lights and a dimmer you will create some great atmosphere in your home.
There's some new technology where, I mean, things like that are just kind of like the tip of the iceberg if you want it to be with your home. Like this Google Home setup, I don't know a lot about it, but I know that there are some people that, 7 o'clock, you need to start winding down for bed. Their lights actually change on demand. Is this a thing that, like, this is actually where we're heading in terms of residential lighting?
Absolutely. And there's a couple companies. Google does it, a company called Lutron, Signify, and you can buy them all at Home Depot or any home or hardware store, honestly. And you can program it to do that. It's not just the mood settings that I'm looking for at that level now. I'm also looking for that energy savings, because dimming a light source down 50% and you don't notice it. Like right now, if we dim these lights down 10%, your eye won't notice it. The human eye will not notice it, unless if you're really specific lighting designer and sees it. But besides that, you won't notice it. So why don't we do that in every building?
For sure.
You could start in your home. There's more homes than commercial buildings. So yeah, it's going to be incorporated. This technology will happen.
Interesting. Is that like the tip of the iceberg? Is there other things that, like, if you're redesigning your home or building something new, like what's out there for people that we might not realize?
Wherever there is a straight line, you put lighting. The technology has changed so much since I started in the electrical trade in 96. I'm old. Lighting has gotten so much smaller. So you can hide it anywhere. It's incorporated in so many things now. You can buy a light that looks like that brick and it lights up. You can buy a light that looks like a book and it's your new lamp. There's so many things now in a home, and the technology behind it now too is just chargeable battery, and it lasts 8 hours. So that's not too bad for a person in an apartment, and life is good that way.
Yeah, if you have a rental, like this was a thing when I was renting, is that you get this space and there's no overhead lighting. And so pretty much everything has to be plugged into the wall, a lamp somewhere. And that was really hard to navigate, like it would just be nice to have, an option to hit a switch and turn on a light. But now I think that's not a big problem. You can go to Amazon. I've seen those kind of like gallery lighting. Yes. Where you just charge it and put it over a painting, and then you've got this really impressive looking light fixture.
So there's been talking about the builders back in the days in the 80s, 90s, the home builders would only put lighting one junction box in a space, but the living room never got one. Your bedroom only got one, but never in the center of the room, closer to the closet, so you can put a light source that can shine into the closet. So it was really interesting they did that. And now we're putting more lights, but it's just way too much light.
Yeah.
We're not layering it. We're not using anywhere there was a straight line, put a light there. Like under your cabinets, if it's a floating cabinet, put lights there. It gives you a nice little glow at night when you're walking through, or during the day that you just want just another little bit of light source for you to create that atmosphere. There's a manufacturer out there that just released it. It's basically a rod from one corner of the room to the other corner of the room, and that light moves along that rod, and it creates that feeling of a sunset, sunrise, and
I would pay good money for this. This is unbelievable.
You probably would pay good money for this.
Like and the space feels so much different, right? It's just amazing to see that effect. The space itself, the color changes, you change, the food that you want changes, right? That light source there in the office, it's very bright. It simulates like being outside at noon. So at home, it's simulating more like a sunrise or a sunset effect, right? So yes, emotionally, it triggers something.
I do think that we're in like this golden age of light, because I do love that I can go home and change some of the settings and just feel better, feel calmer at home, just settle in and I can change the lighting for, an hour before bed to go, red light so that I'm actually in a calmer state. And we're doing this thing where we're mimicking nature and doing like, even a fireplace, those fake ones where you still get that feeling.
And that's what we want, right? That's what we want. This is why we go back to Mexico on the beaches and enjoy the sun and the sunsets. They're beautiful there.
What's coming? What's just around the corner that you see that we'll all see soon?
The big one right now that I'm seeing, I don't know if it's a trend yet, but it's the projector lighting. I don't know if you guys seen that. Yeah. So have you guys been to Disneyland? The water feature, and all of a sudden they have a projector shining onto that water feature and you can see the image itself. That's what's coming a lot more, creating a lot of factors out there. Like Montreal, the Domo, the church there. They have a laser projector show. The statues themselves are coming to life. It's really interesting. You guys got to go to that show. It is a very beautiful show for lighting-wise, technology-wise. And now people are using that type of technology on the exterior of their homes.
I've seen that with like Christmas lights and stuff. Okay, yeah.
Christmas lights, Halloween features, right? Things like that. So the projector system, that technology, I think is going to advance a little bit more. Billboards, you notice billboards have become digital screens. But there's other billboards where they still just want the image and just lit up. So this company called Light Tape uses tape 4 to 8 foot sheets that just illuminates from electrical sources. No bulbs, no LED chips, which is another pretty cool.
Have you been to see the Sphere?
Yes. And if I remember correctly, I think that was a Canadian manufacturer who supplied the lighting there.
No way.
Yeah. And they're thinking of making a second one down in the US. I had the privilege of doing a walkthrough long ago during construction. And then I had the privilege for an invite to go see a concert there. Yeah, that's it really plays with your mind. Lighting there, it has depth. It has the brightness. It has the emotion. It has the speakers themselves are designed per person in that space. So there's thousands upon thousands of speakers. So lighting and sound together.
That's
amazing.
probably, state of the art. That's wild.
Li-Fi is another interesting technology. I'm really interested in seeing that one really take off. I think it will. It exists in Netherlands right now. Singapore is taking it to. They're using it more for the city infrastructure. So Li-Fi is lighting over frequency. It's what it is. It's 1,000 times faster than Wi-Fi. So lighting itself is basically sending data between your device and the server or the network itself. So if you're underneath the light itself, any light, a desktop lamp, your high bay lights in your store, you get that information. You are able to get access to the internet.
Well, that would have military applications, defense.
Yes, because lighting does not go through walls. Lighting stays in the space itself. It doesn't leak out anywhere. So, which is nice. So, and as you know, almost every room has a light source. Mm-hmm. So you can leave one space, disconnect, go to another space, and you're fully secured.
That is wild.
So imagine you're walking down the street and all of a sudden you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't have cellular data, you get under a street light, boom, you got it.
Really? Light as a municipal utility.
Yes.
I'm struck sometimes watching TV, which I guess is the modern version of sitting around a campfire. And
that's a good way to put it.
When some of those beautiful drone shots show the downtown, you see the light in the Neon Sign Museum street, and you can see the O'Damon Park ring.
Proud.
Does that make sense?
Part of the community, right?
That's my city.
Yeah, that's my city, yes.
So what do you see when you see those beautiful nighttime televised shots?
Have I been in that city? I need to go to that city. What's going on in that city, right? Even with Los Angeles or Vegas, like we've spoken, it really attracts you to that. I want to go experience what they're having, lighting-wise. So when the Oilers are playing and they do that nice view, when you look at that, you go, wow, that city has some infrastructure. That city is not small. That city, on and on, you start connecting more and more to that city. That's what lighting I see does.
Venice Beach, it's got like that little light overhang and it's just kind of like just to it's like the public walkway, but it's marked with like this little light. And you go to Mexico and the markets kind of have their little lights, and it's an identity fixture, but you're attracted to it and you identify with it in that moment. It's like that place you're supposed to be. Maybe that's what you're feeling.
Can you imagine a city without light? What do you think when you're flying over a big city and you look out and you see the lights?
For me, as
Mexico City, maybe?
Mexico north side, the neighborhood itself is 5 million people. They have a gondola coming out of that. They have no specific lighting. But just a couple blocks south from there, the Central Art Gallery is there. Lighting starts to really make the city. And the architectural work there is from the 15th century. So how do you light that when you can't make holes in a wall? Right? So it starts to become very unique, warm lighting, because the finish of that rock and the stone or the statues, they're very different than what we have here. Here it's all metal, right? So it recreates a different atmosphere. So yeah, Mexico City, when I fly over any city, actually, I have a bad habit that I don't like to see the same color temperature. So you see some cities, there's quadrants where it's warmer light, and then other quadrants are really white light. And I don't know if you guys know this stuff. There's an association called Dark Sky. And Dark Sky wants everybody to have their lights LED, or energy efficient, but not to match the star color temperatures, because it's actually affecting stargazing. And it's affecting also creatures that actually live along the ocean, because
Migratory animals that actually use those signals.
Canadian parks, they require the lights to be like 2000, very, very yellow ambrish light. So our animals know that, hey, it's nighttime. I don't know. Have you guys ever gone over like Dubai? Like that's another one that you start seeing the life of the city through lighting.
I'm thinking about the lights on the planes, or in the plane itself, the strip lighting, the lights on the TV screens on the backs of seats.
I like that. You know those strip lights? They're not LED. They are the same thickness as your paper. It's an illuminated light. Oh. It's very, very different. And that technology might actually start taking off too.
Daveed, thank you again for throwing
some lighting at you.
The light of your expertise on what we experience and what we see and what we feel. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
The same. Thank you for your time.
And thanks to you for joining us on this episode of InfraSound. We will see you next time. We put up a deck and a sort of a gazebo in the backyard last summer. What do you think the first thing I did was when it was built? I lit it.
With a match?
No. with a string of those
string lights.
Maybe really you're a moth. I'm getting like strong Mothman vibes. I just stare at the lights. I put them up.
I do stare at the lights.
I'm going to get you one of those mosquito catchers. You know, like those blue lights. I just feel like you're going to love it.
Just like for my
just for your desk. Just so you're happy.
Yeah.